and I couldn't help but notice the type of people that you brought on board, the character and the leadership that they had. They were just spectacular. You certainly knew how to choose people, Chief. There's no question in my mind. So it's my pleasure to recognize you today, sir, by reading this resolution, if I may. Whereas former Fire Chief Harry Diezel has spent virtually his entire life serving his community and his country, first entering the fire service in 1958 as a volunteer member of the Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Services, and in 1966 becoming a career firefighter with his volunteer service punctuated with the completion of military duty and included assignments to the 82nd Airborne and 1st Cavalry Divisions. Whereas Chief Diezel assumed the position of Fire Chief in Virginia Beach on May 1st, 1974, and at that time was only the second person to serve as Chief. Whereas Chief Diezel's thoughtful and strong leadership did much to shape the fire department into what it is today. Whereas when Chief Diezel took the helm of the Virginia Beach Fire Department, there were only 120 career firefighters. Now there are almost 500. Whereas in order to professionalize the department and prepare its members for the future, Chief Diezel in 1975 initiated a process to secure the necessary funding from the Commonwealth of Virginia and the city to build a dedicated fire training facility. Whereas because of his efforts, the 10,000 square foot state-of-the-art fire training center was funded, designed, and built with a 120-seat auditorium, training classrooms, administrative offices, a full-service library, and a burn building. Whereas the first firefighter recruit class was trained in the building soon after its opening in 1979, and the years since then, thousands of firefighters have received essential firefighting and life-saving training at the facility. Whereas Chief Diezel also supported the development and funding of the Urban Search and Rescue Team, which led to the development of the Virginia Beach-led FEMA team, Virginia Task Force 2, and members of that team, as well as other FEMA teams from across the country trained at the Fire Training Center. Whereas his leadership extended beyond the operational aspects of the fire department. Among many other things, he took an active role in protecting the health and welfare of his personnel by implementing the city's first no smoking and no tobacco consumption policy for new fire applicants. Whereas Chief Diezel retired in September 1997, but his commitment to public service continued. In 2002, he was unanimously appointed to the City Council to represent the Kinsville District of Virginia Beach, and he subsequently was elected to 2 additional terms of office, serving on the City Council for more than 10 years. Whereas his support for public safety also included his service on the City Manager's Management Leadership Team, where he acted as an ombudsman for all public safety divisions within the city. Whereas the City Council wishes to express its deep appreciation for former Chief Diezel's decades of exemplary public service to our city by renaming the city's Fire Training Center in his honor. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Virginia Beach, Virginia, that the Virginia Beach Fire Training Center located at 927 Burnett Road is hereby renamed the Harry E. Diezel Virginia Beach Fire Training Center.
Yes, we can sit down because I want to make a motion. If it's okay for me to make a motion now, Mark? Sure, I'm going to do it. So, and I appreciate this. I mean, as much as I'd like to take credit for this, it wasn't my idea. I'm just simply following forward what, frankly, some of Harry's former employees and current employees thought about. So, some 5 months after I was first elected in 2002, we had a resignation in the Kinsville district. I had no idea who this guy was that people said that we needed to appoint to this position. Everybody said he was really great, but I had no idea who he was. But I did math. I've served with 24 different people since I've been on council here. And Harry's been one of the most brutally honest, direct people that I've served with. And now, do the ex-cop versus the ex-firefighter, natural tension, and Harry often told me if I'd scored 5 more points on the exam, I could have gone to the fire academy instead. But Harry's also has always had the interest of the citizens first. And he didn't always say a whole lot, but when he did, people really listened. And I wish I could tell you all the stories he told me, but we do have to keep this G-rated because this is this is on TV. But when you go to the Fire Training Center, you see the pictures of the past fire chiefs and the current fire chiefs there. And when you see Harry's, it's like the haunted mansion that the eyes are following you around. And I've always thought that, but that's okay, because Harry's watching out at the Fire Training Center. And the Fire Training Center was his baby. You know, he improved training there. It was all the hard work and dedication. The citizens are better for it, but so are the firefighters for it, because of the additional training that they do. And I had the opportunity to see a lot of this training. We had the Filipino firefighters in for that process, and it was just absolutely amazing just to see this. That's it, just the 6 months that those guys went through, not to mention all the rest of the training was absolutely fantastic. And I can see why people don't complete it, because a lot of it's pretty scary. But while you see here today, I'm really gratified to see all these firefighters here today. Part of Harry's family, but I'm also very happy to see Jenny here today, because Harry's has always been very proud of his family, and Harry has some really cool Hollywood connections too, which are neat with his family. So, Mr. Mayor, it's my pleasure to move approval of the resolution directing that the Virginia Beach Fire Training Center be renamed the Harry E. Diezel Virginia Beach Fire Training Center.
I have a motion, and I've got a second.
And I do want to say that you folks who are out there in the audience, the current leaders of the fire department, and everybody else, I want you to make sure that when people come through that fire training center, whether they're new recruits or people coming in on the FEMA training and things like that, you tell them why it's named the Harry E. Diezel Training Center.
So, motion, second, discussion. I'll call for the question, please.
By a vote of 10 to 0, you have passed the resolution renaming the fire training center